Hello and welcome to your mat. My name is Stacey. For today's practice, if you have them, you'll want to have 1 to 2 yoga blocks nearby. They are optional, so if you don't have them, that's okay. Go ahead and get what you need, and I will meet you lying on your back in Shavasana. And take a few minutes to settle into your Shavasana. Send your arms and legs wide away from your body. Softening through the ankles, let your toes fall wherever they choose. Slide your shoulder blades beneath you, creating a sense of openness through your chest. Gentle tuck of the chin. Welcome some length up the back of your neck. Begin to take long, slow breaths in and out through your nose. Each breath in, feel your belly rise up towards the ceiling. Each breath out, it softens and contracts. Inhale, belly rise. Exhale, belly falls. Notice where in your body you're holding on to tension today. Just acknowledge its presence, welcome breath into that area, and encourage some softness. With your body in stillness, turn your gaze over to the right, send your right ear down towards the mat. Bring your gaze back through center and over to the left. Stay connected to the slow rhythm of breath in and out through your nose. Gaze comes back through center. Start to awaken your body by wiggling your fingers and toes. Find some rotations through your wrists and ankles in both directions. Slide your feet together at the bottom of your mat and draw the right knee in towards your belly, interlacing your fingers around it, taking hold of the back of the thigh, whatever is accessible. Reach through your left heel as you hug that right knee in. You can soften through the right ankle. You're welcome to stay here in the center or start to slide your left foot to the bottom left corner of your mat. Direct your right knee towards the outer right shoulder. Stay heavy through your left hip. We're looking for a little bit of a sense of opening through the front of the pelvis, the hips, maybe into the inner right thigh. Creating as much distance as you can from the left foot to the tip of the right knee. Remain in stillness or take some slow motion circles with the right leg, really isolating the movement to the right hip. You can use your left hand on the left hip, encouraging it down towards the floor. Circle in the opposite direction. And as you come through a point of tension where you feel that stretch most, just pause there. Draw your right knee back through center. The left leg extended long, find center as well. Take a big breath in to lengthen. On the exhale, find a twist. Cross your right leg over your body to the left. Option here to place a block beneath the right knee for some support. Encourage your right shoulder down towards the floor. You can look up at the ceiling or over to the right. Breathe deep into your lower right belly. Come back through center. Hug the right knee in towards your belly for one full cycle of breath. And keep that right knee hugged in. Bend through the left knee. Bring the sole of the left foot onto the floor. Extend your right foot up towards the sky. We'll take a few little circles through the right ankle, pointing and flexing the toes. Circling in both directions. As your foot comes through a flexed position, the toes drawn towards your face. Turn your toes to the right side of the room, bend at the right knee, and bring the pinky toe edge of the right foot onto your left thigh, creating a figure 4 shape with your legs. You want to keep a deep flex in the right ankle to help protect the knee joint. Even out the weight on your left and right hips. Option to draw the left knee in towards you, either stepping your left foot onto a block or interlacing your fingers behind the left thigh. If the left knee is being drawn in, the right knee continues to reach away from your shoulders, finding those opposing forces. Lower your left foot onto the floor. Keep that figure 4 shape with your legs. Let your knees tip over to the right. You can use the right foot on the left knee for a little added weight, but we're never being forceful. Left hip is lifting up and over to the right as the inner left knee is reaching for the floor. It does not have to touch. You can always bring a block beneath the left knee for some support. Come back through center. Release the right foot from the left thigh and draw both knees in towards your belly. Lengthening through your spine with every breath in. Each breath out, hugging the knees in a little bit closer to you, finding subtle movement with breath. You can take a gentle rock from side to side, massaging your low back and pelvis. Land in the center. Keep the left knee hugged in this time. Extend your right leg long. We're really active through the right leg. We're reaching through the right heel, drawing your toes towards your face as you squeeze the thigh muscles in towards the bone. The left ankle, however, can soften as you hug the left knee in towards you without lifting the left hip off of the floor. You can stay centered or start to walk your right foot to the bottom right corner of your mat. And send the left knee towards the outer left shoulder, as if you're showing the inseam of the left pant leg to the sky. Right hip stays heavy on the floor. Choosing stillness or movement, maybe you take some gentle circles with the left leg, encouraging the right hip into stillness. Circle the opposite direction. And land in the point that you feel the stretch most. So that's going to look different for everybody, allowing each practice to be uniquely yours alone. Come back through center. Take a full breath here. And welcome length up your spine, and then find your twist, crossing your left leg over to the right. Maybe you choose to place a block or pillows beneath the left knee. The left shoulder is reaching down towards the mat. We're not just rolling over onto our right side here. Come back through center. Left knee hugs in for a full cycle of breath. And bend the right knee, bring the sole of the right foot onto the floor. Left foot is reaching up towards the sky. You can take hold of the pant leg or interlace your fingers around your thigh. We're just going to draw a few circles with the left ankle in both directions. Pause with a deep flex in the left ankle. Turn your toes to the left. Bend your left knee. Bring the pinky toe edge onto the right thigh for your figure four stretch. can stay right here with the right foot on the floor if you're already feeling a stretch. Stay long through the low back, heavy through both hips. If you'd like to go a little bit deeper, and you can do so without lifting your tailbone off the floor, you can draw the right knee in towards you, maybe taking hold of the back of the thigh, or you can step your right foot up onto your block. Play with the weight in your hips, shifting weight from left to right, and see where you feel the stretch most. Then pause there. Lower your right foot onto the mat. Keep your figure 4 shape. We're going to come onto the inner arch of the right foot, tip the knees over to the left. Using the left foot to encourage the right knee down to the floor without being forceful. Adding gentle weight. And come back through center. Sole of the left foot finds the floor. Take a gentle rock of the knees from side to side, releasing any tension that may be left or that may have developed. Pause in the center, reach one arm up overhead and roll over onto your side. Hug your knees in towards your belly, rounding through your back. With each breath in, feel your back body, your ribs expanding in all directions. And when you feel ready, find your way up to a comfortable seated position. So that can be sitting cross-legged, you can be up onto a block or some pillows. Maybe your legs are extended long in front of you. In whatever position you have found, just start to take some gentle rotations with the upper body. And rotating the opposite direction. Land in the center. We'll move through cat and cow. With a big breath in, pull the heart forward, lift it up, gaze up. On an exhale, scoop your tailbone beneath you, rounding through your back body, gaze to the belly button. Big breath in, tailbone reaches back, heart pulls forward and lifts up. Exhale, rounded spine, hollow out your chest as you look to the belly. Big breath in, cow back. Exhale for cat. Inhale. Option here to interlace your fingers behind your head. Reach the elbows back behind you as you rest your head in the interlaced fingers. On the exhale, draw the elbows forward, reach them down towards your belly without being forceful on your neck. Big breath in, cow pose, heart lifts up, elbows reach behind. Exhale, elbows come forward as if they're trying to touch and then down towards the belly. Either variation takes 3 more following your own rhythm of breath. You decide if you'd like to incorporate the arms. No rush to get there, but when you have finished your 3, just pausing in a neutral spine. Release your arms at your sides, give your shoulders a little bit of a roll. And if you're sitting cross-legged, it's a great opportunity to cross in the opposite direction. We're sitting up tall, shoulders stacked over the hips. Start to send the right ear down towards the right shoulder. Lifting the left earlobe up towards the sky, gaze is forward. And you can extend your left fingertips out long beside you, either hovering them above the floor or bringing them to rest on a block, pressing down gently through the fingers. Lengthening from fingers to the top of the head as if you're being pulled in both directions. And take a few little slow motion movements with breath. So take a big breath in as you gaze forward. As you exhale, turn the gaze down towards your shoulder, tuck your chin in slightly. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, turn the gaze to the shoulder. Inhale through center. Exhale, gaze down. Inhale, come center. Exhale, gaze down. Inhale, come center. And this time as you exhale, find where it is that you feel that stretch most and just pause there. Holding the pose but not the breath. Release the left hand back onto your lap if it's not already there. Slowly roll your chin down. Gaze comes forward. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. This time on the exhale, bring your right hand down onto the floor or onto a block. Left fingertips are reaching up and over to the right. You can stay up on your fingertips. You can bend through the right elbow, bringing the forearm to the floor or a block. Pressing firmly through your left hip into the floor. Just welcoming length up your left side body. Rise back up all the way. And exhale, hands to heart. Full breath here. And release your hands onto your lap. We're going to send the left ear this time down towards the left shoulder. Keeping the shoulders stacked over the hips, we're still sitting tall. Option to extend the right fingertips long, either hovering them above the floor or bringing them to rest on the floor or a block. Creating as much distance as you can between the top of the head and the fingertips. Maybe you already found a great stretch and you'd like to stay here, you're welcome to, or we'll find that little bit of movement with breath. Take a big breath in here in the center. As you exhale, turn your gaze down towards the left shoulder. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, gaze to the shoulder, tucking the chin in slightly. Inhale, come neutral. Exhale, gaze down. 2 more. Inhale to neutral. And this time as you exhale, find where you feel the stretch most and pause there. Release the right hand onto your lap. Slowly roll your chin down through center. Gaze comes forward. Take a big breath in, reach up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. This time on the exhale, we're going to reach the left fingertips over to the left, bringing them onto the floor or onto a block as you reach the right fingertips up and over to the left. Really grounding down through the outer right hip. Breathing space between the right ribs and right hip with each breath in. Maybe softening into your side bend with each breath out. Rise back up all the way. And exhale, hands to heart. Full breath here. Let it go. And extend your legs long to the bottom of the mat. Give them a little wiggle, especially if they've been cross-legged or bent for a while. Take a few circles through the ankles in both directions. We're going to bend the right knee, bring the sole of the right foot onto the floor. And then open the right knee up to the right side of the room, sliding the sole of the right foot to the inside of the left leg. You can have the right heel as close as you like to the pelvis. The sole of the foot pressing into the inner left leg. Turn to face your left leg, toes are drawn towards your face. Take a big breath in to lift up. And exhale, we're going to fold forward with a straight spine. You can bring your fingertips towards the floor, draw the shoulder blades away from you. Always an option to use blocks here to bring the floor a little bit higher. You want to work towards a straight spine. Draw the left hip towards the back of your mat as you pull your heart forward. And don't worry about touching your forehead to the shin. Instead, think about reaching your heart beyond your toes. And if you're feeling this stretch in the low back, it could be a sign that you're starting to round. See if you can lift up through the belly button, reaching it beyond your left knee. Walk yourself back up. Turn to face your right knee this time. So the heart is now facing over the right knee. Left hand or left arm is coming onto the left leg or onto a block. Start to slide the left hand down the left leg. Open your heart up to the room in front of you as you reach the right fingertips up and overhead towards those left toes. I'm really working on facing the room in front of you instead of hollowing out the chest and looking to the floor. Pressing down through your right hip. Welcoming length up the right side. Rise back up all the way, reaching up. Right hand's going to come to the floor behind you. Turn the inner arch of the left foot to the floor. We're going to press down through the right hand through the left foot. Lift your hips up using the right leg for a little bit of a kickstand. Extend the left fingertips overhead, creating distance between the left foot and the left fingertips. I want you to be really light on the right foot here. We're going to start to turn the gaze to the floor. Bring the left hand down towards the mat. We're going to start to walk the hands towards the front of the room, pivoting on the right foot so that you're creating almost a triangle shape with your legs. Option to have your hands on blocks here. And if that transition doesn't work for you, you can just join in however it does. Just check in with the placement of your legs. We want the right hip roughly over the right knee in line with the inner arch of the left foot. Hands are on the floor or on a block. You can tuck the back toes, the right toes rather, or you can have them untucked. We're going to come up onto the heel of the left foot. Start to send your hips down towards the right heel. Think about sliding the left heel towards you without actually moving it. We're just activating those muscles. Giving yourself permission to come out at any time that it becomes too much. If you have knee sensitivity, you may find it helpful to roll up a cloth or small towel behind the right knee joint here. Rise back up all the way. Inner arch of the left foot is on the floor. Press the pinky toe side down towards the floor as well. We're going to bring the hands up onto the hips, rise up all the way. Again, checking in on the position of our legs. We want that rough triangle shape with them. Take a big breath in, reach up. Left hand to the left leg, extend the right fingertips over to the left. Keep that right hip stacked over the right knee. We're not shifting the whole body to the left here. Rise back up all the way. Exhale, hands to heart. Bring your hands onto the hips. They can stay on your hips or you can bring them onto the floor or on your block. We're going to start to heel toe that left foot in a little bit, bending through the left knee and pointing the toes away from us. So the right hip is still stacked over the right knee. The left knee is now bent, with the left toes pointing away from the right knee. Your hands can be on your hips or on the blocks or on the floor. Be really light on the right foot, allowing it to pivot if it needs. And we're just going to start to send our weight over to the left. So the left knee is tracking the same direction as the left toes. It's okay if that left knee goes beyond the ankle. We're going to rise back up. Pad underneath of the right knee if you need with a towel or a blanket. Shifting the weight over to the left. Looking for a stretch up the inner right groin into the hips. Rise back up. And over to the left to hold. Giving yourself permission to come out at any time that it becomes too much. Choosing whether to have your hands on your hips, on the floor, or on your blocks. Rise back up all the way. With the hands on the floor, your hips, or your blocks. We're going to lift that right foot, walk the hands, and pivot to face the front of the mat. So we're coming into about a 90-90 low lunge here. Take a nice wide stance with your legs. You don't have to be on a tightrope. We'll just do a few little circles with the hips. In both directions. Pause in the center. We're going to tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. If you need to lengthen your stance, you're welcome to do so. Activate your legs, really reach the right heel to the back of the room as you squeeze the right thigh muscle in towards the bone. Rise up all the way, reaching for the sky. Taking a few moments to find your balance. Draw that right kneecap up towards the right hip to activate the thigh muscle, the glute. Pivot on the back foot, open your arms up, warrior two. Left knee's lunging in the direction of the left toes. Shoulders are stacked over the hips as you gaze over the left fingertips. Can you stay connected to that slow rhythm of breath? Right hand to the right leg or low back. Lift the left fingertips up and overhead. Stay deep in that lunge. Windmill the arms, come through warrior two. We're going to pivot on the back foot. Windmill the arms all the way to frame your left foot. Step the left foot back to meet the right. Find a downward facing dog. You can have a gentle bend in the knees to begin. Lift the tailbone, the sits bones high. Maybe walking out your dog by bending one knee then the other. And find stillness in your dog. Lower your knees onto the mat. Bring one hip onto the mat. Walk yourself around so that you come to land in a seated position with the legs extended long. Take a few little circles through your ankles, pointing and flexing through the toes. We're going to bend the left leg this time. Bring the sole of your left foot onto the floor. Tip the left knee open to the left side of the room and bring the sole of your left foot to the inside of the right leg. Even out your hips, maybe drawing the left hip forward, right hip back a little bit. Sitting tall as we reach up overhead. We're facing the right toes. They're being drawn towards our face as we fold forward over the right leg. Fingertips on the floor or on blocks. And keep your right toes being drawn towards your face as you pull your heart towards them. Keep breathing. Rise back up all the way. Turn your heart to face the bent leg, the left leg. Right hand or right arm is coming onto the right leg or onto a block. Use the left hand to open your heart up to the room in front of you. Then extend those left fingertips up towards the sky and over towards your toes. They do not have to touch. We're scooping the low ribs on the right side beneath us into the room in front of us, maybe even up towards the sky a little bit. Rise up, reach up. Left hand comes to the floor behind us. Pivot the inner arch of the right foot onto the floor. Start to press the sole of the foot towards the floor as you lift your hips up, extending through the right fingertips, lengthening up the right side. Breathe space into the right ribs the right way. Start to turn your gaze towards the floor. As you walk your right hand towards the mat onto a block is an option. Walk your hands forward, pivoting on your left leg. So that the left foot is now behind you, and you've created that triangle shape with your legs. Left hip is over the left knee. Left knee is roughly in line with the inner arch of the right foot. You're pressing through the pinky toe edge. You can have your hands on the floor or on blocks. Left toes can be tucked or untucked. We're going to come up onto the right heel, draw the right toes towards your face. That's going to shift the stretch to the inner right thigh a little bit more. Think about dragging the right heel towards you without actually moving it, and we're going to start to send the hips back towards the left heel. It does not have to touch. Pausing once you feel that stretch sensation. If you're feeling any pinching, pain, or discomfort in the knees, please feel free to come out at any time. Play with the position of the right toes, drawing them towards your face, maybe pivoting them a little more towards the sky. Rise back up. Inner arch of the right foot once again finds the floor, pressing down through the pinky toe edge. Walk your hands towards you, maybe up onto the hips as you rise up all the way. Adjust your stance if you need to keep that left hip stacked over the right, or left hip over the left knee rather. Big breath in, reach up. Right fingertips onto the right thigh. Left fingertips reach up and over to the right. Keep that left hip stacked. Rise back up. Exhale, hands to heart. Full breath here. Let it go. Your hands can be on your hips or they can come onto the floor or blocks. I'm going to keep mine on my hips so that you can see. We're going to heel toe the right foot in a little bit. The right toes are pointing away from the left knee. Right knee is going to stack over the right ankle, pointing the same direction as the toes. You want to be light on the left foot. If you root down through the left foot, you're going to cause more injuries to your left knee. Allow it to move if it needs. We're going to send the right knee over the ankle in the direction of the toes. Sinking your hips towards the mat, they do not have to touch. Come back through center. Over to the right. Back through center. Over to the right. This time we're going to hold that position, keep the right heel heavy towards the mat. The heart is facing the rim in front of you. Or you can have your hands on blocks with the heart facing the floor if you prefer. Rise back up all the way. Hands on the hips, hands on the floor or blocks. We're going to start to pivot on the back leg. Walk the hands to frame your right foot. If you have a super grippy mat, you may find you have to tuck your toes, lift your knee, and then pivot it. Finding our way into that 90-90 lunge. So even if you have a lot of mobility through the hips and you're able to straighten your back leg, we want to stay with a generous bend. A nice wide stance is going to support our balance. You don't have to be on a tightrope. We're going to just take those slow motion circles with the hips. In both directions. Pause in the center. Tuck your back toes. We're going to lift the left knee. Adjust your stance if you need. You can lengthen it or shorten it. Strong, active left leg here. Once you find your balance, we're going to rise up all the way. Option to pause with your hands on your leg first, or come all the way up, fingertips reach for the sky. Left hip is shifting slightly forward, right hip slightly back. Squeeze the inner thighs together as the outer hips reach out and back behind you to activate your legs. Keep the low ribs tucked in and keep breathing. Pivot on the back foot, arms open up, warrior two. Deep lunge in the right leg. Pressing firmly through the pinky toe edge of the left foot. Shoulders are stacked over the hips, they're not reaching forward. Gaze is over the right fingertips. Strong active arms here. If I was to walk up behind you and push on them, they would not move. Left hand to the left thigh or low back, right fingertips reach up and back behind you without straightening the right leg. Consider lifting the inseam of the right pant leg up towards the sky. Without lifting weight off of the right foot. Come back through warrior two. Full breath here. And we're going to windmill the arms, pivot on the back leg to frame your front foot. Step back to the back of the mat. Downward facing dog. Really lifting your sits bones high. Pressing firmly through all 10 fingers, especially the thumb and the index. Shift your weight forward, shoulders over the wrist for a plank pose. Lower your knees to the mat. Take a big breath in to lengthen. As you exhale, bend the elbows, lower the belly onto the mat. Palms are on the floor beneath the shoulders, elbows squeeze in and back towards your heels. Pressing down through the shoelace side of your feet. Inhale, lengthen and lift collarbones. 1 or 2 ribs comes off of the mat. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lengthen and lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lengthen and lift. We're going to hold the lift. Keep pressing through the shoelace side of your feet, reaching through the big toes. Little to no weight in the hands here. Elbows are squeezing in and drawn towards the toes. Staying open through your chest as you keep breathing. Exhale to lower. Press through your palms. Come up through tabletop. Send your hips back towards the heels for child's pose. Letting your forehead rest on the floor or on a block. Land for a full cycle of breath. Inhale, come forward. Find that modified plank once again. Exhale, slowly lower, resisting gravity all the way down. Press through your feet, lengthen and lift. Exhale to lower. Press through table to child's pose. Full cycle of breath. One more, just like that. Big breath in, come forward. Exhale as slowly as you can, lower to your belly. Lengthen and lift. Exhale to lower. Press through the palms. Find child's pose. Full cycle of breath in your child. Your hips stay low. Walk your hands towards the top left corner of your mat. We're in a child's pose with a little bit of a side bend here. Forehead still resting on the floor. Keep the right shoulder reaching for the mat. Come back through center. Then over to the right. Really keep that left hip heavy. The left shoulder is reaching for the floor. A lot of times it likes to lift up towards the sky. Keep it in line with the right. Come back through center. And take one last big breath here. Rise up through tabletop. Bring one hip onto the mat, shift your weight around. But you're able to lower down onto your back. With a bend in the knees, find your way onto your back. Reach for your block if you have one. You can also use a rolled up towel or pillow. Walk your heels in close towards your bum. Press down through your feet, lift your hips up, and slide your block beneath them for a supported bridge pose. Choosing the height of block that works best in your body today. Lift your chest up, slide your shoulder blades beneath it, and send your arms out wide with the palms facing up. Just check in on your block. You want it supporting your hips, your pelvis, and not your low spine. Making sure there's no areas digging or gouging in, causing discomfort. Let your belly be soft as it rises and falls with breath. The knees are pointing the same direction as your toes. They're not tipping in towards each other or splaying out to the sides. Take a big breath into your belly. Let it rise up towards the sky. Exhale, belly softens. Big breath in, belly rise. Exhale, belly falls. And take a few more big breaths just like that. And press down through your feet, lift your hips up, return your hips down to the floor, removing the block. Take a moment to acknowledge any sensations you may be feeling through the belly or low back. Keep that same sense of openness through your chest as you heel toe the soles of the feet together, the knees wide apart, creating a diamond shape with your legs. Option to slide your blocks beneath the knees or thighs for support, allowing this to be a little more restorative. Make any adjustments you need through the upper body. Find comfort and stillness. Using the distance between your arms and body, let the palms face up. Gentle tuck in the chin lengthens up the back of your neck. Soften through the belly and chest, allowing them to move freely with breath, making no effort to control its rhythm or its rate. Feel the soles of the feet supporting one another as the knees grow heavy. Soften through your face, your jaw. You can soften your gaze, perhaps closing the eyes completely. If you have found a place of comfort, you are welcome to stay just as you are. If you'd prefer, you can, as slowly as you can, extend your legs long to the bottom corners of your mat, holding on to the stillness through the upper body. Releasing the legs, allowing them to join the upper body in stillness as they grow heavier and heavier to the mat. Without judgment, without attachment, do one final scan of your body, noticing any subtle changes from when you first landed here on your mat. Take note of any last remaining areas of tension where you may be gripping or holding on. Welcome some space into those areas with each breath in. And as you exhale, feel the tension soften and release. Feel your body grow heavier into the mat as the muscles begin to release, to let go, and to relax. This practice of stillness and of breath will continue to be yours for as long as you choose to allow it. When you do feel ready to get up and go, do so slowly and mindfully. Allow leaving your practice to be a part of your practice. Take with you a little sense of the openness, spaciousness that you've cultivated here on your mat today, with you into the rest of your day and week to follow. With such gratitude for you joining me here in practice today and always, Namaste.